want to make sure that everyone actually got the opportunity to hear the story that me and Miss Plater is about to talk about. So, once again, like I say, we're kind of starting so we can make sure that everybody's actually visualizing, actually being able to see the lady that's actually here with us. And I want to apologize. That was an error on my end. And we just want to make sure that we do her right. Because these things that we do for
you think you're gonna know who did what, you think you're gonna know what happened, but it's not the case at all. It's just a complete circle. Everything.
I am Shannon Green, trainer at Effect Fitness. Stay tuned for my video right here on Social Goals.
Okay. And once again, for those, and I'm gonna actually show y'all how to see this is on February the 17th. What's the time frame?
You would say one thing before we started the show too. You're not having a good time. But if you're not having a good time, you're wasting your time. You say that every night.
Situationships, and all things. Thank you so much.
This is the second thing. That's a very big deal. This is the second thing. This is something that you want to do.
You are watching Social Goals right here.
Y'all heard what she said once again.
This is Big Daddy Young on $265 pure milk chocolate. And you watching Social Goals.
So we're almost to that point on this platform.
I'm like, I only have one T. It's only one T. I mean, but you do think about like a shrimp platter or a fish platter.
Yeah. So yeah, we just showing, we make sure everybody see. And for the most part, like I said, we understand the reason that she's here is to talk about the foundation. And she actually gave our radio audience some information pertaining to her. So once again, now that everyone can see her, everyone actually does see you this time, Miss Sharde. We're going to ask you again, we're going to remix this.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about Sharde, Toney Plater.
Sharde Toney Plater, originally from Huntsville, Alabama, born and raised at the age of 22 years old. God told me to move to Dallas, so I moved to Dallas, stayed in Dallas for about 4 years. Then I ended up meeting my husband, but I'm a wife, a mother, an entrepreneur. Always busy, I always keep my hands busy for sure. Lover of God, number one, and just pushing the plow to be able to encourage other people, other families that's been affected by congenital heart disease, be able to encourage them, walk along with them. That's what Sharde is about.
All right. So for those that are watching now, they can actually see the logo for the Janiyah Strong Foundation. Once again, for those that are now watching, I was actually explaining to Sharde the purpose of this podcast, really to give the entrepreneurs a platform to actually advertise themselves more and tell more about their journey in being an entrepreneur. Now, for this foundation, I can't say that I look at it as a business. It's totally different. It's totally different logic behind it to me. So, prior to having our issue, we were kind of talking about, you were kind of telling everyone about the other business that you run. And are you fully an entrepreneur, or do you do other things as well?
I actually work from home, actually, and then I do my lavish picnics. I do events, which is Events by Elegant Designs. I have a baby shower coming up that I'll be decorating for. I just haven't pushed it as much. I was pushing it, like for several years I was pushing it, but it was until we found out the diagnosis of my daughter, which caused me to actually push more of the foundation and that to be my main focus right now. But I still do decorating. That's one of my number one passions is decorating.
So what's your preferred method of contact if someone wanted to get in contact with you pertaining to some of the other things that you actually do? Is there an email? Do you mind the DMs? Like, what would you prefer?
You can send me a DM on my personal page. You can also send me a DM through the Janiyah Strong Foundation's page. Also, I have another page, Elegant Designs. So if you would like to send me a message through DM, I'll definitely get back with you, and we can schedule an appointment, figure out a date, and see what all you would like, see what your vision is about your event, for sure.
All right, so before we get into the reason you're here, what I try to do whenever I have a guest, I try to find something out about them that nobody knows. And I'm going to give you an example of something that I was told by one of the entrepreneurs that actually came on before. She told me, and I can't say her name, she has a fear of balloons. I have never heard that in my life, and I will never forget her because she told me that. A fear of balloons. Okay. That's unique, huh? That's really, really different. So what is something about Sharde that nobody knows? Be a guilty pleasure, a hobby, anything that nobody knows about you that you can leave here in this area with us that'll always stay here? But you got the whole world about to know now, so you know.
I know, y'all finna know some things. What is a guilty pleasure that nobody knows about? Not even my husband. Not even.
Well, I mean, y'all are one, so I mean, even if he's included in it, you can. But I mean, just something that nobody knows. It be from your childhood or anything.
Well, I'm not gonna say nobody knows it. People do know. I used to be a Budweiser model back in the day.
Okay.
And so I did modeling. That's one thing. And then another thing, I do not like talking in front of people. I've never been that person who would like to talk in front of people, but you just never know what God is going to have you do. And so I'm like I said, thankful for this opportunity, but I do not like talking in front of people.
And we were talking somewhat about that offline. Now, I know that's not something that I expected to hear, but I understand. And I was saying, even being behind the camera, when you're in front of the camera, it's a totally different energy.
It is.
Like behind the camera, you like strong, I can say, and look crazy and all that. Nobody ever know. But once you're in front of people, it is totally different energy.
For sure.
All right. So, the Janiyah Strong Foundation. All right, right now they are getting a visual of you and your beautiful family. Okay, and I know we kind of talked about it already, but how did the Janiyah Strong Foundation originate?
It originated because, a little backstory, in April 2022, my daughter, she had started showing signs of sweating and heavy breathing. And so we ended up contacting the doctor. They ended up saying that it was pneumonia. And so they ended up saying we'll be admitted into the hospital. After the admission into the hospital, probably like the next day, the doctor comes in and he says, your daughter has a coarctation of the aorta. It's a congenital heart defect. And of course, your first thought is, okay, what is that? I've never heard of that before. And he says, one of you will have to fly with her to New Orleans and the other one would have to drive. And so, of course, we drove 5 hours, got her situated in her room. She was in the hospital for a whole month. I remember the doctor saying that he didn't think that she was going to make it out of the ICU. And so just by going through that and just not knowing the signs and symptoms, because I never saw anything in the doctor's office. I never saw any educational material about congenital heart disease. And so coming out of the hospital, just having to go through nearly losing my child, that's what caused me to say, you know what, well, first I said, God, what it is that you want me to do with this? I know we don't go through things just for us to sit on it. What do you want us to do with this? And just continue, lead me on what you want me to do with this, Lord. And so that's how the Janiyah Strong Foundation was birthed out, to be able to help other families. Because when we was in the hospital, we stayed down there a whole month. Not every family is able to stay in the hospital with their child. They're more so worried about their mortgage, their light bills, other kids. So we were actually, thank God, able to be down there with her the entire time. So our goal is to be able to, raise awareness for those signs and symptoms. But that's the reason of why we started it. From that diagnosis, it changed our entire life, for sure.
All right, and like I said, once again, for those that are listening on the radio, we thank you for your patience. Those that are actually watching, 2022. So, are we into the second year of her recovery, or recovering, or?
You know what? We have to go back and forth to New Orleans every few months. We have to be cautious on a lot of things. Being around a lot of people, we have to be real cautious. But the thing is, with her heart being like it was for so long, because a coarctation is a narrowing of the aorta. It cuts off the circulation to the bottom portion of the heart. So she wasn't actually getting the right proper flow to the bottom part of her heart.
And this is talking air circulation, always.
We're talking blood
flow and okay.
Blood flow.
Okay.
So she wasn't getting, her heart wasn't pumping right. It wasn't, so the blood wasn't going through that aorta because it was narrow. It was finding other ways for it to flow. And so with that, it caused us to say, okay, what we're going to do? And so, but now with her heart being, it was enlarged. It caused it to be enlarged. And of course, they talk about, heart failure. They talk about all these different things. But one of the words they used with us was miraculous, letting us know that that she's still here because of God. It is all Him, the reason why she's still here. Because they told us actually they didn't think she was going to make it out. And just thinking about that, being with your 3-month-old, you thinking everything is good. You're going to all your doctor's appointments. They're telling you she's fine, she's perfect. And then you come out with that diagnosis. So it's, but overall, Janiyah she's doing well. Janiyah is a thriving 2-year-old now. She was 3 months. She's 2 years old now. And so she's doing well, though. She's doing very well.
And I'm honored to have the opportunity to actually meet the family. I got to meet Journey, who's the other child, the oldest child.
She's the oldest child.
I met Dad, Mom, and I've actually got to meet Janiyah. And she was very happy. She waved. And like she wanted to say something to me. But she said something to me. I don't know if she's saying get out my face or whatever. But
give a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I promptly got out of her way. I made sure I did that. Okay. So, right now we're here. We want to talk about, before we get into the second annual read out, right, for congenital heart. Tell us about the first one, and when did that happen? The first annual.
The first one was April of last year. February the 25th of last year, and we had Dr. Mahajan. He came and he spoke about congenital heart disease. He actually showed pictures of what Janiyah had went through. We had a live auction. We had paint by numbers by Mr. Willie. I mean, it was a beautiful event. Of course, I wished it could have been a little bit longer, but overall, it was a good time, good food, good fellowship. It was really good and very informative. Because a lot of people that came up to us afterwards, they were saying, I didn't exactly know what she was going through, what y'all were going through. But it's like the #1 killer of babies is a congenital heart defect. And one baby is diagnosed with that. 1 out of 100 babies are diagnosed with that. But last year's gala was perfect. I feel like it was perfect.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the last one, but we're getting ready for the second annual read out for congenital heart failure. Okay, and this event is actually on February the 17th at 11 Events in Shreveport, Louisiana, yes, correct? And what are the times again so everyone can be prepared to come?
Well, doors open at 6:30. And we're planning on starting right at 7 o'clock. We have a praise dance that's going to take place. We have after that, it'd be 3-course meal. It's gonna be some delicious food by Mr. You Heard Me, catering service. And then we'll have Dr. Gretchen Pettaway. She'll talk about the signs and symptoms. She'll talk about some other things that she said God put on her heart to talk about. And then we have a live auction, and then we're gonna have a good time. More dancing and more fun this year.
Okay, and for this event, is there a cost associated with it or a donation? What can we do as far as the public for this particular event?
It's $75 for a person, and then we also have sponsorship. We have $75, $150, and $300 if you want to be a sponsor. And then we'll post about your business. We'll talk about your business, and so people can know about you and your business.
Okay, so for a business who is interested, what would they have to do? So how they need to get in contact with you if they wanted to be a part of this and to donate or to be in a position to be offered what y'all are offering for that event?
They can contact us through our Facebook. Facebook or Instagram. Just send us a message, and then we'll go from there. And then I can send you the actual sponsorship package. And it has everything on it. It has what our goal is. Our goal is to be able to help at least 3 families that have to go to New Orleans. We actually was able to help a family here recently. We've been staying in contact with them so they can let me know when they will go to New Orleans to have open heart surgery. But able to help them for Christmas. That was what we wanted to do. But if you want to be a sponsor, you can follow us and send us a message on Instagram as well as Facebook. And then we can send you the package and any other information that you need to know.
Okay. And all right. So sticking on the narrative of being an entrepreneur and also talking about this foundation, what has been some of the trials and tribulations that you've had with doing this as far as the foundation? How has this experience been for you?
It can be tough because some people, I guess I don't know if people have a certain thought process when it comes down to nonprofits. Because I don't know if it's what their thought process is about, a nonprofit, but it just seems like people are not quick to support you as much. Even if they actually know your personal stories, like they're not really quick to support you. And of course they have a lot of questions that they ask, but the thing about it, y'all have to be open to answering any question so they can get to know, okay, what is your vision behind what you're doing? Okay, why are you doing it? Okay, this is my why, this is my reason. And just with a nonprofit, you have to be willing to answer any question because people are going to have their thoughts about why they're doing this, and then they're going to be hesitant to support. But always be willing. You have to be open about what you're trying to do. You have to tell everything. Like, don't be scared to share everything. But what I've experienced is, sometimes you have people that's really hesitant to support what your vision and what you're trying to do. And it can cause you to be discouraged. But when you remember why you're doing it, you won't be so quick to give up, for sure. But that's been just, certain people don't, you have the questions, some people be hesitant to support what you're doing. But be willing to offer any answer, any question. But that's been my main thing that I've ran into when starting a nonprofit. Okay.
So with you actually being an entrepreneur, being able to start this foundation, that actually help you with your experience as an entrepreneur?
It does, because anytime you start something new, you're going to be hesitant, you're going to be scared. And so when I started doing hair, I was so nervous because I hope I make sure I do them, them right, my customer right, make sure they're happy. And then, when I started my decorating, it was always be nervous because you want to make sure people are happy. And then you have the pros and the cons of whatever you're doing. But just I feel like it helped me to know what I'm going to get, basically. You're going to get questions, you're going to get people that want to know certain stuff, or, I feel like it helped me a lot.
Okay. All right. So for those who may just want to donate, do they still need to go through those appropriate channels to contact y'all to like, look, we just want to donate. We may not be able to attend the event, but we would love to donate and support.
Yes, if they want to make a donation, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and you can just send us a message. And I mostly answer the DM, so you can just send me a message, and I can send you whatever you need to be able to make your donation. But thank you. First of all, thank y'all for listening and just being willing to hear our story. Because it's trying when you go through something, especially with your child. But it's appreciated, your support, for sure.
And in my opinion, any parent of any walk of life understands that a parent would do anything for their children. Mm-hmm. And I really do appreciate you coming through to actually sit down with me to talk about this. And I want to make sure before we close out this interview session, is there any other information you want to provide, any updates or anything like that you want to provide for us so we can, make sure that we're in the know? Is there any other information you want to provide prior to or this event? And once again, I'm going to put the event up so they can actually see it. It's at 11 Events. What's that address? You know that address to 11 Events?
Let me get it real quick.
Okay, while she's looking for that, once again, y'all, Social Ghost Talk Radio is going to be random. It made its return on Thursday. We have Before the Vision. We have GVO Radio with Big Sack. We have What's Up Shreveport with D Ford. We have a lot of other things. We have Unplugged. We have other things that are going on. And our plan is to make sure that we're giving y'all that information ahead of time. So if you want to continue to support and follow us, that you do those things. And like I said, we still have more coming. And we really appreciate your support. And once again, like I said, for Miss Sharde, 11 Events, we're going to make you continue to say, where is this event? When is it going to be? How to message you for that information. Give it to us again. 11. Put some bass in your voice.
Bass in my voice.
Yeah.
The address to 11 Events is 1529 Texas Avenue, Shreveport, zip code 71103. It is a black tie event. Make sure y'all come and dress in your formal attire. Now, I've had a lot of questions about men. You can wear a black tuxedo or a black suit, but you can always have like a red vest on, red tie, as long as you have something red, and just come ready to have a great time. And if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to donate, you can always send us a direct message on Instagram or Facebook, and I will get back with you promptly, for sure. All right.
Like I say, you heard it here first. And for the women, what's the attire? Is it a long formal gown or?
It's a long formal gown with your cute heels on and your hair and your makeup done, whatever you want to do. But as long as you have a long formal dress on, we will accept you, and we're looking forward to seeing you at our second annual Red Out for Congenital Heart Disease Gala.
And y'all, this is February the 17th. This is the Saturday after next at 11 Events here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Let's support the Janiyah Strong Foundation. It's a beautiful, beautiful little girl with a lot of energy, and she is not afraid to tell you what she think or feel from what I seen in that short minute that I actually spoke to her. And like she ain't playing with y'all. So y'all need to come out and support her. Like I said, and once again, I want to make sure that y'all see the family and y'all will see Sharde. And I don't want to leave out Journey. Journey's over there to the side, but you see Sharde. You see Janiyah in Mama's arms. And she's trying to say something right there as well. Like I say, this is a family. One thing that we do when the cards are down, we come together. Let's come together, man. Let's support the cause. Is there anything else you want to leave with us? And like I say, she is an entrepreneur, so there's other things that she actually offer. If you need an event catered, correct?
If you want a event decorator, I do interior decorating. Also do hair. I just don't promote, my hair as much. I'm more so focused on the foundation right now. But events, if you need an event decorated, you contact me. And even if you just have to go through the Janiyah Strong Foundation to get a hold to me, just let me know I'm ready to book an event. I'll take care of you.
All right, you heard it here first. Once again, this is Before the Vision. When you get the call, you up. Miss Plater, I really appreciate you coming through, and I'm hoping that you got everything off your chest that you wanted to talk about, because that's what the goal was, to get you here to inform us all of what is going on in your life and world and what you do. Yes. Once again, we really appreciate you here at Social Ghosts. Once you come and chill with the goats, you become a goat. So her and her family are now social goats. We really appreciate you. For those that are watching, we're about to get out of here. We go.